Home prices across the nation are at record highs. I mean, did you ever think they would be this high? I'm in the business and I didn't see this coming.
If the Federal Reserve comes in and, let's say, helps out a politician before an election and reduces rates even with a high inflation print, you could see those home prices go up, in my opinion, 5, 10, 20%.
5, 10, 20%.
You would start to have a buying frenzy again, much like during COVID.
So that housing crash you're looking for, it may never happen. And I hate to break it to you, but our lovely government has just found a way to make those prices go up just a little bit further. That's right. Have you heard about these new green laws that have just gone into place, which will drive the cost of housing up further? I'm not so sure the Biden administration thought the timing on this out very well, because these new green energy mandates that are going into effect are going to force home builders to make their houses a little bit differently and slap another $30,000 on the cost of a home. Yes, builders will have to comply. And based upon everything I've read, the home builders are not happy about this. And the Biden administration doesn't deny any of it. That they understand that the upfront costs are going to be much higher. But they say that it's going to lower your energy bill. That's right. But here's the kicker. In order to recoup that money, that 30 grand, it'll take you 90 years to recoup that money. I made a video about this a while back, and the powers to be that run this platform didn't push it out there that much because it's a touchy subject. Let's hope it doesn't happen to this video. Whether you're buying new construction or not, these policies are going to trickle down to all of us. I think it's funny. It's really not funny, but imagine being a young couple and you buy this new house, which costs $30,000+ more. Even if you have a kid, your kid won't live long enough to see the savings or recoup the savings. And HUD says that, oh, Mr. Builder, we're going to give you some tax credits to help offset the cost of these additional investments that you need to make. Tax credits. That's you and me subsidizing that. I'd love to know how you feel about that. There is a comment section below, and I do read the comments. Yeah, they're merely giving out some tax credits and passing the buck down to everybody. I mean, instead of having the home buyer pay for all of it, they're going to subsidize the builder with tax credits that everybody gets to pay for. Everybody, including renters. Everybody's paying for these subsidies. This is just the latest example of how failed public policy is creating a two-tiered society in this country by increasing home prices, where a generation of Americans will likely never be able to afford a new home.
Young home buyers are extremely negative on the availability of housing in the country at this point, with 68% calling it non-affordable and only 6% of young Americans saying that housing was both available and affordable.
And with the cost of living crisis that's going on right now, even renters, it's just not people that own homes, renters are struggling. More than 20% of people that were surveyed that are renters said they gave up, they either skipped a meal, worked extra hours, or sold personal belongings in an effort to stay current on their rent. If there's nothing left over, you can't come up with a down payment. Maybe that's the idea. Have you ever seen this commercial?
that you'll own nothing and you will be happy. That's what they're saying. With inflation sky high and no signs of it slowing down, they might be right. We are on our way to becoming a nation of renters. But don't worry, it's nothing to fear, just the opposite, says Bloomberg, if you remember this story. Bloomberg, by the way, is one of the hundreds of partners with the World Economic Forum, and they list all of their partners on their website. Other partners include NBC, Google, New York Times, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Apple, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, and many, many others.
And for those that do manage to save and come up with money for a down payment, often when they go to qualify for the mortgage, can't qualify. One of the lenders that I deal with frequently tells me that it's not credit that's keeping people from buying homes. It's affordability. They don't qualify. That once you add in taxes, insurance, 7.5% mortgage rate, they just can't afford the payment. Their debt to income is way too high. You know, the fallout from an unaffordable housing market goes well beyond just housing prices. Many people delay getting married and having kids because they can't find affordable housing. I mean, really, right now it does seem like we do have a two-tiered society. You have people that purchased 4 years back, bought at the right time, and those that waited now can't buy because everything's extremely high. So I'll ask you, with all of this going on, do you think we will have a housing crash? Because these green mandates are going to increase the cost of new construction. And in the future, these apartment buildings that aren't up to these new standards more than likely will have to be retrofitted to meet these new green standards by 2030. Commercial buildings are a key focus of Biden's green agenda, and he plans on passing legislation for all commercial buildings. With out-of-control government spending, inflation will not go down, and it has caused huge damage to this country.
What do you think, Bill?
I think that inflation's here to stay, Neil. I think you're going to have mortgage rates are going to be high, and I think that housing prices are going to continue to go up.
Obviously, with high rates, people that want to move aren't going to move because they're not going to give up a low mortgage rate that they already have, because exchanging a 3% mortgage rate for a 7% mortgage rate is always a good decision. Inflation has also driven up the cost of construction. You can thank our government for that. Now we're going to add another $30K in green options to the cost of that house. Now, many of these contractors will probably take their foot off the gas and start building less, because if people can't afford the houses and it costs them an extra $30K to build that house, what do you think is going to happen? The only silver lining that I can see in this is possibly that the apartment construction will slow down, because that would not hurt my feelings. And if you want to know more about the working parts behind that, I'll link that video at the end. Now, if you like this type of content, of course, you can put your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you got some value out of it, give it a thumbs up. I hope it wasn't a total Debbie Downer. Just giving you the facts. I like seeing you here. Does that make you feel better? I'll also link my video about how to keep a positive mindset at the end of this too. You should probably watch that one. If I haven't told you, I appreciate you spending part of your day with me. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It does help my channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hint, hint. And I hope I see you here again soon. Take care.